So this is breaking about as of 30 minutes ago. Luigi Mangione pleads guilty to federal charges. So this is from Time. Luigi Mangione on Friday pleaded guilty to both federal stalking charges against him in connection to the 2024 shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione pleaded guilty to 2 charges that each carry possible life sentence: interstate stalking resulting in the death and stalking through interstate facilities resulting in death. The judge accepted his plea. Mangione also admitted during the hearing to the shooting of Brian Thompson in 2024. "I shot Mr. Thompson in Manhattan," he told the judge on Friday. According to the New York Times, I understood that my action would place him in fear of death or bodily injury. I knew what I was doing was illegal. Mangione did not face murder charges in federal court. The federal judge on Friday set a hearing date of December 18th for Mangione's sentencing. The guilty plea marks a remarkable shift in Mangione's defense, as he had previously pleaded not guilty to all federal and state charges he was facing. Mangione, 28, was arrested December 2024 on suspicion of fatally shooting Thompson in New York 5 days earlier while the healthcare executive was walking to a conference. The case quickly drew attention of people across the country, some of whom regarded Mangione as a symbol for those who are frustrated with the healthcare insurance industry in the U.S. The 28-year-old's murder trial is scheduled to start next month in New York. The state charges he's facing carry a possible 25 to life sentence. Yet it's not clear what impact any a federal guilty plea could have on state charges against him. But the judge in the federal court on Friday said that if Mangione is found guilty in the state case against him, they could be added to his federal sentence. In January, a federal judge ruled out the possibility of Mangione facing the death penalty. A few months earlier, Mangione's lawyer was also successful in getting a terrorism state charges added against him dropped. The Trump administration had publicly condemned Mangione and then Attorney General Pam Bondi, saying last year that the Department of Justice would seek the death penalty against him. Okay, the rest of this isn't that important. So, my reaction to it. Luigi Mangione, the reason why he's viewed as a symbol of a hero to many is because almost every single person that you meet and ever will meet has a horrific story with someone they love dealing with them not being able to get proper health care, resulting in someone they know and love dying. My grandmother, she died at 59 because she couldn't get proper health care. And this has happened to so many people that in a proper society, if someone guns down someone in the middle of the street, in the middle of Manhattan, in the largest city in the world, most people would view that person as a vile human being. They would say, oh, that person was disgusting, we should send him to the Hague right away. But almost everybody, it was the exact opposite reaction. Almost everybody cheered for Luigi Mangione and said that, oh, he's completely innocent. He didn't do it. He was helping me with homework. He was doing Bible study during his time. You know, a bunch of jokes insisting that he's not guilty because he's doing something else during the time. Oh, I have no clue who that man is. And that's because everyone has a story of someone they know and love dying because of being denied healthcare. And something like UnitedHealthcare in particular, they were the number one denier of healthcare. And the reason why Mangione ended up shooting him is because he had severe back pain that he couldn't be treated. He was denied, I believe, specifically by UnitedHealthcare, or because they're the number one denier of healthcare people, which leads to most deaths. He had back pain at a very young age that nothing could be done about because the healthcare industry didn't care. So that's why that was his motive. I read it in another article that I couldn't find right now, and I read it in the past. So a young man who had, I believe he did very well in school, and you know, a dude that looks like he's pretty built, pretty in shape. He felt his life was pretty much over. He had to go to those drastic steps because his back was in such pain he couldn't take it anymore. And he said, "You're the reason for it, Brian Thompson. You're denying my claims, so you gotta go." And most people support that. In a healthy society, this would never happen. In a healthy society, everybody would have looked at Mangione like he's a problem. But we're not a healthy society because we put profits over everything. Everything always gets worse in the capitalism. Everything. And the reason why it is because the capitalism, by law, you're required to make sure you maximize profit under all circumstances. So in the US in particular, almost everything is privatized. Everything. So that's from healthcare, which we're the only nation in the world that has privatized healthcare. So we have the worst outcomes for those who aren't the richest. We have privatized healthcare. It's a bit shocking that we don't have privatized police and firefighters, because every single thing in the U.S. is based on making profit. And I understand, some things you probably should be left to a private industry. I get that, but every single thing should not be privatized. And that's the reason we're in the situation we're in now, because we put money over people with everything. So the thing that sucks is, Mangione, he's facing federal charges that he pled not guilty to. State charges hasn't been added yet. It potentially will be added. So the great thing is the death penalty's dropped. The thing that if he does get state charges, let's say a president AOC, a president Zoran, I said to trigger the idiot right wingers, a president Abdul El Sayed, a president Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all the Muslims that they hate. Imagine one of them became president. If he only faced federal charges, he could be potentially pardoned by one of those presidents. But if he faces state charges, the president can't do anything about that. So hopefully he doesn't face any state charge, and hopefully, he gets off and do some community service, mental health, and all that type of good stuff. But no one was sad of Brian Thompson's passing because the system that we live under right now. It's similar to when the billionaires all went in that submarine. The submarine popped and killed all the billionaires because the pressure with the water pressure of the submarine going too deep. And by the way, the billionaire who brought them on a trip, he knew the submarine had issues but still wanted to do it anyways because he think that money can save him from anything. No one was sad about it. Absolutely no one was sad, because people know that billionaires are the problem. And Brian Thompson, Luigi Mangione just went to some drastic steps to get rid of him. So that's it. Mangione, he could potentially face life in prison. Hopefully he doesn't. And if he does, hopefully it's only federal charges and he gets pardoned. But that's all I gotta say. Peace.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Friedman Agnifilo, and I represent Luigi Mangione. Today is a solemn and significant day. With today's guilty plea, Mr. Mangione has accepted full responsibility for the death of Brian Thompson, arising from the events of December 4th, 2024, outside of the UnitedHealthcare Investor Conference here in Midtown Manhattan. It was a single tragic event, yet he's being prosecuted twice for the same conduct. As Luigi explained in court today, he endured years of severe, debilitating pain following a broken back, while struggling to navigate our healthcare and health insurance systems. Like the thousands of people who've reached out since this tragedy to share their own experiences, he believed that the system had failed him and destroyed his life. Despite this being a single isolated event, Mr. Mangione has been unfairly treated since the outset in every way, and has successfully fought off terrorism charges and the death penalty, while also fighting at the same time two simultaneous prosecutions in two jurisdictions who are trying to punish him twice for the exact conduct. He's been treated differently from every other defendant charged with this offense in New York. However, thankfully, New York law does not allow this. New York law does not permit a person to be prosecuted and punished twice for the exact same crime under a statute that governs successive prosecutions. It's also known as the double jeopardy law. Today's guilty plea triggers this statute, and we just filed our motion in state court explaining why the state charges must be dismissed under New York's double jeopardy protections. We will not be taking any other questions. Thank you so much for coming.
Madam, does your client have any remorse for the man he shot in the back?
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.